Good morning everyone, it's Saturday the 20th of April in the year 2024 and it's a day of mixed feelings. Today is new bike day and there's going to be, well, at least 4 years worth of videos coming on my chosen replacement for this absolutely superb 2020 Honda VFR1200-X crosstourer. We'll just roll a bit of film here and then we'll be back in a second.
I know now why you cry, but it's something I can never do.
Back in a second. Okay, so you might not get the relevance of that bit of film there, but it's just more of a reference to how people connect with their machines, and although it's a bit tongue-in-cheek and yeah, it's a bit cheesy, it's not too far how I feel from today. I've had this from new. I've had over 100 bikes, all sorts, sports bikes, touring bikes, full-on track bikes, adventure bikes, anything from ATCC up to 1900s. Actually, the biggest bike I've had. I've ridden everything and anything for the last 30 years, various values, a couple of £100 up to well over £20,000. Harleys in America, track bikes, Donington Park, Brands Hatch, Cadwell. And the hard part of today is my conclusions on this bike, and it is a conclusion video because this is the last time you're going to see it on this channel, at least anyway. This is by far and the best, or by far and away, the best bike I've ever owned, taking everything into context. It looks today, minus a little tiny bit of mud on it because I rode it the other night, exactly the same as when I rolled it out the showroom 3.5 years ago. There is not a single scratch on it, there is hardly any markings, the only marking being on the spoke nipples just from over 3.5 years of use. I'll say it's a tiny bit dirty today, so just please excuse that, but it is today as it was 3.5 years ago, and that's where I've got my top value realised back on it. It is being PX'd against a brand new bike. Some of you may be surprised against my choice, but hopefully over the course of the new bike videos we'll detail why. It was a difficult choice. I've put a lot of years, I know it sounds crazy putting years, but as soon as I bought this bike I started thinking about what would I replace it with, due to a number of factors. But I started looking seriously about a year ago, and then the last 6 months really seriously investing into what would replace it. And replace it is a very pertinent choice of word, actually. I'm not sure it fulfills some things as well as this, but some things it's certainly much better, so we'll cover that over the next few years anyway. So over the last 3.5 years, just short of 4 years now, I've never seen a single warning light, I've never had any problems. I know, very typical Honda. All it's ever needed is a front tyre, a couple of backs, front brake pads, a battery, and regular Honda servicing as per the book, and it has been absolutely faultless. I've done 1,000-mile days on this. I've been 2 up fully loaded. I've been -5 degrees, almost 40 degrees heat, and it's been absolutely incredible. And that's why there's a bit of a lump in my throat, because it is in many ways the perfect large affordable adventure, ironically cross touring bike, hence the name Head Race. So I know it's called cross tourer for a reason. It's a touring bike that looks like an adventure bike. It's not an adventure bike. I know it's going to upset a few people, but it absolutely isn't. So it's not going to be a long video, this one. It's not really a review video, it's just a summary video really. And it is going to be really sad to see it go from the garage, and Mrs. Head Race and the kids are going to miss it as well, which is quite sad. But this is the way of the world, unfortunately. Things do move on, things do change. I know there's lots of mixed opinions on these on YouTube and on the internet, but from someone that's owned one from day one up until today, I would not even question owning one again. I think it is absolutely superb, and taking into account the way the world has gone with emissions and Euro 5 or Euro 5 plus now, good or bad things, a bigger discussion, but I'm fairly confident in saying this is going to be the last big capacity V4, certainly from Honda in this context anyway. There's rumours about V4 blades that have been kicking around for years, but that's not going to happen. It is the last of a line, I think, because of production costs and everything else that goes with it these days, and I think it's a really, really sad loss to the range. So I appreciate it's not going to be a long video on this one, guys, maybe 10 minutes, something like that. And essentially this is a 2010 design, which means it was probably penned somewhere in the mid 2005, 2006, and when you ride it against the current machinery, you cannot deny that it feels from a generation back, which in many ways is a positive. It's got a lot of mass rather than weight, and that's why it rides so well on the road. It is over 300 kilos with all the luggage and a full tank of fuel and a few things you put under the seat, so it is a heavy bike, and that's one of the reasons it rides well. It's constructed like modern bikes simply aren't, including the brand new one that I'm picking up today. I'm not going to pretend that that's in any way the same league in the build quality of this, because it simply isn't. And these are very much last in the line of the superbly built Hondas, I think. Hondas are still the best built of the current available options, I'm not going to get away from that, but they're still a step back from this. This is one of those bikes that if someone dropped me a phone call and said, right, you've got an emergency situation, you've got to be in the south of France by sundown tonight, I would have no questions at all. Jumping on this, picking the key up without any shadow of doubt, lack of confidence. This will get you there in comfort. It is a really, really fantastic machine. I'm not going to go and do an item by item cover of what's gone wrong and what's not great and what is great, because today's more of a celebration, really. I know it sounds like a funeral now, doesn't it? But this is without a doubt the best bike I've ever owned, possibly ever will own. So today is tinged with sadness, and I just want to start wrapping this up by saying a big thank you, really. Everything this bike has been asked to do, it's done it. It's done it perfectly. It's been cheap to run, and I mean cheap. £200 a year servicing ish if you average it out. A couple of tyres, petrol, that's all it's really cost me. It's been a pleasure to ride. Been to Wales on it midwinter. There's a video on my channel about that one, guys. It's low quality cameras, apologies for that one. Me and my son have been away for weekends on it. Me and my daughter have been away. Me and the wife have been away on it. We've had some fun in the summer and twistier roads, and these do handle, if you take them in context. These do handle. So it's a hat tip, a pat on the back, a heartfelt thanks, maybe a little bit of a tear in the eye saying goodbye to you, dear friend. If anyone's got any questions about these, then just do drop them in the comments. There's not going to be any negative ones. They are just a fantastic machine. So again, thank you to the bike. Last 3.5 years. I wish you well, my friend, going forwards into the future. And whoever does buy this bike, and it was very nearly me. It was very nearly me. I nearly bought my replacement for this brand new and kept this as well. It was on the cards. So this is the registration number, guys, if you want to go and look it up on any sort of sales website or eBay or whatever. This is the bike you're going to pick up, and I wish you very, very well with it. I do hope that it goes on to do many tens of thousands of miles and gets used for what it's for. Please don't make it a garage queen. Take it places you've never been, do things you've never done, get experiences together. So we're just coming up 10 minutes now. and that was the limit I set myself video. So from the big old cross tour and it's time ahead race, it's signing off. Hopefully speak to you soon, guys, with the next one in the head race garage. Take care.